with hints, tips and tradie chat. Grab yourself a brew because it's about to start. This is Women in Trades with Amy the Sparky.
Before the show starts, I just quickly wanted to talk to you about Tradify. Tradify is a fast-growing job management platform for all busy tradespeople. It's great for managing all sorts of business admin such as quotes, tracking invoices, timesheets and appointments, leaving you more time to focus on other important things. Tradify have very kindly given me a discount code for my viewers, so check them out by clicking the link in my show description and using discount code AMY50 to get 50% off. Now, let's crack on with this show. Hello and welcome to Women in Trades with Amy the Sparky. This week I'm going to be talking to HVAC Girlo, or Ruth from Dublin. She's an air conditioning engineer. Hello.
Hello, how's it going?
Good, thank you. You okay?
Yeah, good. Thank you very much for having me on.
No
Very excited.
Thanks for coming on. So I'll be honest, I really don't know anything about your job. So hopefully I'm going to learn something today. So
You will.
first of all, I want to know how did you get into this? Like, or what made you want to get into air conditioning?
Originally, I wanted to join Dublin Fire Brigade, actually. And so I got into this trade in 2007. And at the time, they weren't recruiting, but they had all information on their website. And it was all like, oh, we're looking for people with this and that. And one of them was they wanted people with trade backgrounds. So I was like, okay. So I went down to, over in Ireland, the trades are done through a government body called FOSS at the time, but it's Solus now. So you can go down to one of their offices and they have all the basically the jobs that are available. So I went down and I applied for a Sparky, for carpentry, for plumbing, for air conditioning, and I got a few interviews with a few different companies, and air conditioning was the one that I got offered, so I took it.
Yeah. So
pretty boring, but that's how I got into it, and now it's this.
So, sorry, how long ago was that? How long have you been doing that?
2007 is when I started my apprenticeship, and then I qualified in 2011.
Okay, so it's a full 4-year apprenticeship.
Yeah.
How is it done? Is it like one day a week in college, or is it the same as?
No, it's very different. Is that how it's done in the UK?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know I don't even know how people train here to be air conditioning engineers, but apprenticeships here, like for electrics or plumbing, you can do like 1 day a week at college and the rest on site, or you do like 7 weeks on site and then a week or 2 weeks in college. It varies. It depends how you do it. So
okay.
How did you
very
do it?
Different here. So over here, your 4-year apprenticeship is split into 7 phases. Okay. So it's 4 phases on the job and then 3 in college. So phase 2, 4 and 6, you're in college.
Mm-hmm.
So for phase 2, you're in college for 20 weeks. For phase 4, you're in college for 10 weeks. And for phase 6, you're in college for 10 weeks. And
so
then
20 weeks straight of college?
20 weeks straight, yeah.
And is that a mixture of practical work?
Yeah, it's a mixture of practical and theory.
Okay.
But yeah, it's 20 weeks straight. So it's tough going, like, because there's only 2 centres that do air conditioning and refrigeration. And since I'm in Dublin, which is the capital, you would assume that there is one in Dublin, but they're not. They're both down the country. So you're either going to end up in Cork or Shannon here for 20 weeks. So.
All right. So how did you do that? Were you travelling, or were you staying there?
No, I was staying down there. I just got a room in like a holiday village, I think it was.
Okay. So while you're doing it, are you getting paid your apprenticeship wage still while you're doing your 20 weeks?
Yeah, so when you're doing your 20 weeks, you don't get paid by your company. You get paid by essentially the government, and it's tax-free.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so it's not too bad. Like, you get, I think, €70 a week for like expenses for accommodation and things like that. Like, so.
All right, okay. Well, that's good. What how did you find college? Did you enjoy it?
I did enjoy it. I found phase 2 very difficult because, well, not very difficult, but it's quite a shock to the system because you're kind of used to kind of like following the lead and just kind of being told what to do, and then you get down there and you're just like, right, today you're doing this, today. Like wiring still to this day, and electrics is not my forte at all. Like So down there, they're like, yeah, you're going to like build this panel for this cold room from scratch, and you're just like, oh my god, what am I doing?
I was
Like phase 4 and phase 6 were really good. Like you're pretty much, you kind of end up kind of like with the same people and all, then you'll see them again in your next phase. And so like, and it is good, but for me, it was just very daunting. It was my first time living away from home as well. So you're just like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah. Were there other females on the course or?
No, and here's a fact actually. My sister works for the company Solus, who does the air conditioning, who does all the trades. And she told me that in the entire like history of refrigeration, there's only 7 women that have done it, and there's only 4 that have actually completed it.
Wow, really?
Yeah, so that's crazy. She's always asking me to like do talks and do all these type of things that they need, so I'll do them for her. But when she told me those figures, I couldn't believe it.
That's mad, that is.
Yeah, it's crazy.
To be fair, I don't know any female air conditioning engineers here. But yeah, 4.
Yeah, I think most of them that I follow on Instagram, I think they're all US based or Canada or.
I follow quite a few US, Canada, somewhere else. Yeah. But you were okay through college though. You didn't mind, being the only girl and everyone was sound with you.
No, it was generally fine. I'm still in contact with a lot of the lads who were in the course, and yeah, it was good crack. It was more being from Dublin that they didn't like us. So.
Oh really?
Yeah, there's a big rivalry. You're either from Dublin or you're from the country, so they just didn't like us.
How did you find it when you first started working in your apprenticeship, when you're going on site and stuff? How did you find that? Was everybody okay with you? Were you comfortable doing it? It's nerve-wracking, isn't it, at the beginning?
Yeah, it is, because you're just kind of like, you want people to take it seriously, and then you're just like, you're relying on the other people to teach you.
Yeah.
So you need to make a good impression on them. But then, like you said, like you are kind of nervous. You're like, I don't want to mess up, and you don't want them to be like, oh, she can't do that. She can't do that. It was generally fine. There was actually one lad in the company who, I wouldn't say he bullied me, but he used to like make like certain comments, and you're just like, there's no need for it. One time I remember he specifically said to me like, why am I doing this? Why am I a nurse or a hairdresser? And I was just like,
really?
Yeah.
Have you faced a lot of that since, like through your career so far? Have you faced a lot of sort of any, negativity or?
No, to be honest, not really. No, you get like some comments in offices, and strangely, it's mostly women who say it, but it's more.
Really?
It's more kind of like, Jesus, like, yeah, I can't believe to see you doing this trade. Fair play to you, and you're just like, yeah, thanks.
So it's more just like people sort of being shocked or surprised.
Yeah, it's more so that like you were saying, like you've never seen an air conditioning engineer female one over in the UK. Like I think it's more so that they're just like, wow, like they've never seen it. Because to be honest, like even before I kind of followed loads of people on Instagram and found likes of yourself and all, I never knew like one tradeswoman here.
Yeah.
Like I still really don't. There's a few that I follow now, but I never would have known any beforehand.
Yeah, it's very uncommon. But I want to talk to some sort of tradies over in the US, Australia and New Zealand, because it's much more common over there. I don't know if you follow a lot sort of around the world.
Yeah, I'd say the majority of the people that I follow are like US, Canada, UK, and like you said, Australia. There'd be a few people that I'd follow in like, there's a really good lad in Turkey that I follow. He's great with like Daikin air conditioners. He's always messaging me, but the majority would, I'd say, be kind of like US, UK.
Yeah. So the company that you did your apprenticeship with then, did you stay with them when you'd finished? No,
because we were in the middle of a recession at the time, so I literally got called. So I got called in on a Monday, and I was basically told, you're qualifying on Friday, you're finished on Friday.
Really? Oh, that's harsh.
Yeah.
So what did you do?
I was unemployed for 18 months.
Oh God.
I ended up getting, what do you call it over there if you work for cash?
Illegal. I don't know.
So we've two words here. It's either a foxer or a nixer. So I ended up getting a really good nixer in a hotel.
Okay.
Just changing gas out of systems and like replacing fans and all. But rather than have me on the books, your man used to just pay me cash.
Oh, right, okay.
So I did that for a couple of months.
Okay. But yeah, you were out of work for quite a while then.
Yeah.
So all that time were you like applying for stuff, or did you sort of give up for a bit, thinking there was, because of the recession and stuff, you were?
I gave up for a little bit, and then I ended up getting my F-gas certificate during that time, and I got it for free because I was unemployed. I think the course is, I think it's maybe €1,500. It's done through the apprenticeships now, but at the time it was separate. So I ended up getting that, and then after that kind of spurred me on to trying to get back into it. And then I ended up just applying to a load of different companies, and I ended up getting a job with the one that I'm still with now. So.
Oh, you're still there now? That's good. Mm. So what does a typical day look like for you then? I don't really know, like, what it involves, like.
I'm mainly on like the maintenance team, or like I do call outs as well, but at the minute I'm in the data center, so it's pretty much just maintenance. So you'll go in and you'll strip down the units, you'll clean them, you'll check pumps, you'll make sure the drains are okay, you'll run the units, making sure they heat and cool, you'll check the outdoors, check the coils, check all the electrics. On the outdoors, like for the indoors and the outdoors, actually, like anything from the isolator on is our problem, and then anything up to the isolator, we'd call in yourself.
Yeah.
So sort that out for me.
When we do it, we obviously just put everything in up to the isolator and then leave it. So I literally wouldn't know what happens after that, to be honest. Is it all big commercial jobs that you're doing? Do you install
the company I work for, it's majority of it is commercial. It's all hotels. Data centers are the big thing now, because like the climate in Ireland similar to the UK, like it's very cold most of the time, so it's free cooling for the data centers. So we pretty much, I'd say our main three are data centers, hotels and offices, to be fair. We do a couple of residential stuff, but it's in like the smaller heat pumps, but it's not that big for us yet anyway.
Okay. Are you with the same sort of team or the same people every day, or how big's your company that you're working for?
I think there's about 110 people now, but it's split into two divisions. So there's the install side, and then there's the service and maintenance side. So service and maintenance, I think there's probably 11 or 12 of us out in vans, and then we'd each have an apprentice. So.
Okay, so you have an apprentice. So you always work on service and maintenance, or do you ever do the installs?
I did install for a little bit during my apprenticeship, but now with this company, it's service and maintenance. But we'll do retrofits, and if it's a small enough job, they might get us to put like a couple of splits in here and there. But the majority of it is either maintenance or it's like service repairs or.
Okay. Do you ever find sort of physically there's anything that you can't do, like just because you're a woman? Is there anything you ever come across you think, oh, I can't do it, or?
It's only when you're working on like really big units, like there's like compressors that'd be like 80 kilos or something.
Yeah, so a man wouldn't be able to do that on his own either. It's just
so it's only stuff like that. So, but like, you know yourself, these days everything is health and safety mad, so
yeah,
they'd never let you even attempt to do it yourself anyway. But generally, no, like I think I started getting into the gym in probably like 2010-ish because of this job. I was like, I need to get stronger, I need to get better.
It's funny, a lot of the girls that I've spoken to said the same thing. You know, once you start, you think, right, I need to get fitter, I need to get stronger, and we're all at the gym doing weights and stuff, trying to.
Yeah, because like we have to lug around like bottles that could weigh 20 or 30 kilos, and then you'd have like we're always kind of like obviously like the ladder and the tools and stuff. So it's mainly like the bottles and stuff because you've no choice. Like you have to carry the gas, like, so. And some of you might have to like lug them onto a roof or
Oh God.
carry them a good bit. So you have no choice. You can't be.
It sounds really sort of physical, to be honest. Like I
I
struggled
bought a
with my
trolley
tool
last
bag.
year, so.
Say that again, sorry.
I bought a trolley last year.
Did you?
So, yeah.
I used to have a tool bag on wheels, like a 3-stack tool case thing, and everyone used to laugh at me. And I've got a Velocity bag now, but I put that much stuff in it, absolutely breaks my back carrying it around.
I know. I really want the Vito Tech, the pack out, the big bag, but I know I'll end up filling it with just every tool that I have, and then I won't be able to carry the thing.
It's honestly amazing. I think, I'll just put that in, I end up putting everything in. I've cleared out the back of the van. I don't even know how it all fits in there. And then I go to pick it up and I'm like, Jesus Christ, I can't. Honestly, I feel like I'm going to fall backwards and I'll be like a turtle on my back on a shower. I won't be able to get back up.
That's why I'm just like, I want that bag, but I'm just like, no, I don't need it that badly. I don't need it that badly.
Have you got any funny stories for me? Things that have happened on site or...
Oh, God. I remember one time, both of these were in a morgue, actually. One time there was a dead mouse in a drip tray in a morgue. And then in that same morgue, I had to do one of the body fridges. And they never moved, like, whatever the bins are that they dispose of stuff in. They never moved one out of the way. So I ended up having to move it and the bag open, and there was just like a severed foot in it.
No way.
Yeah, I swear to God, yeah.
Way. That's great.
It was just like, oh my God.
Oh, so what are you doing in the fridge? Like regassing it in the body fridge thing?
Yeah, I think at the time, I think the evaporator was frozen over, so I think I was just clearing that with. I think the evaporator was just frozen over, so I had to just clear everything out to be able to access it and access the drain and make sure the heaters were working. So I remember that they had a body in it, and your man, it obviously opens from both sides. So I remember the guy in the autopsy suite was like, give me 5-10 minutes. He moved the bodies out, but he obviously forgot the bin. So
forgot the body parts.
Yeah.
Oh God, I didn't even.
That's funny.
I never even. It wouldn't even cross my mind that you'd be in places like that doing stuff like that.
Yeah, I'll never forget it.
Oh God, what's the best day at work you've ever had? Have you got like a day where you thought, all right, this is brilliant. I love this job because whatever. Or...
I do love this job when you diagnose something and it's been annoying the customer for ages, and you diagnose it right, and you're just like, yeah, I knew it. There was actually, yeah, that reminds me, there was one site we had, and the guy was constantly moaning, and 3 or 4 people had been out to it. So I went out to it and I was looking at it and I was like, it seems okay. And then I went in more depth, got a controller onto it, went into all these settings, and I was like, this valve is stuck. I was like, I'm telling you now. And then some of the lads would ring tech support, and I was like, no, I could look at it and I could see, and I was like, it's pulsing, but it's not doing what it should. And then I said it to the lad in the shop, and he's like, oh, right, fine. He's like, we'll change it. And I was like, I'm telling you, it's this. And then one of the lads went out and changed it, and it's been running since. And I was just like, I told you.
It is a good feeling, isn't it? Because I'm terrible for doubting myself all the time. I'm like it with everything in life, but at work, I'm terrible for thinking I don't know what I'm doing. Really, I do know what I'm doing. Not obviously I don't know everything, but I doubt myself all the time. I annoy myself. I do it that much, but because I think it's because I always feel like I've got something to prove. Do you know what I mean? I always feel like I'm trying to prove myself to people around me or customers, or when you get the one that stands behind you watching you and you're thinking he's watching me because he's thinking a woman doing this.
That does my head in when you're on a site and they're just hovering around. You're just like, oh my God, can you leave me alone for 5 minutes, please?
Yeah, I find it really stressful. I find that I probably wouldn't make a mistake until someone stood behind me watching me, and then I will make every mistake. I'll drop all my tools, like, do a terrible job.
You're like, come back to me when I have the unit open and I have an idea what's wrong. That's what I think. I'm just like, just leave me alone for 5-10 minutes, please.
Do you find that people sort of patronise you?
No, not really. I don't think. No, like I work like I have all the apprentices that I wouldn't say I'd be in charge of, but who I deal with, and I've never had an issue with any of the people that I work with. Anyway,
that's good. What's are you all assigned the same apprentice? So you're with the same person all the time, aren't you?
Not all the time. It could be for a couple of weeks and then they'll move. It kind of depends on the sites and how busy they are. Sometimes some of the people might have 2 apprentices and I might have none.
Oh, okay.
It just kind of depends where we're working and kind of the flexibility of everyone.
Yeah. What are the apprentices like? Do you find that they're keen, or do you find that you're always constantly having to sort of prod them to get on with it?
Yeah, I'd say it's probably a mixture. I'm always kind of harping on to them to ask questions and show a bit of initiative. Like, nothing annoys me more than if I fix something or we're doing something and then I'll fix it and then I'll be like, right, are we ready to go? And they haven't asked one question. And because I turned around to one of them a while ago, one of the lads I was working with, and I can't remember what the fault was, but I ended up getting it fixed. And I turned around to him and I said, like, do you understand what I've just done and how it's running again? And he's just like, no. And I was like, why aren't you asking me questions? Like, you just stand there. They're always on their phone as well. That's generally big. I could go on for ages. Just ask questions. Like, obviously, like, I'd be on my phone, like, maybe like posting on Instagram or whatever, but like, there's a time and a place.
Yeah. I feel like I was the opposite, like, and I still am. I ask too many questions. I constantly, in my head, I'm thinking, oh, you're annoying people. You're annoying them so much. Don't ask another question, but I can't help it. I'll ask I'll ask everything.
You need to ask questions though, because you're never going to learn, especially if that, like, him just standing beside me.
Yeah, I think it's an opportunity. If you're working with someone with a lot of experience and somebody who, is good at what they do, it's an opportunity, isn't it, to learn and to learn the right way.
Exactly. Like, even like some of the lads I work with, they're far better on certain brands or chillers or whatever. And if I'm working with them, like, I'm asking them questions. Yeah. You're never going to learn if you don't ask. So
no, I can't stop thinking about that foot. In the back of my head, I just keep thinking, oh God, I don't know what I'd do. I think that'd really freak me out. I don't like stuff like that. It's gruesome. You got any other gruesome stories for me?
I don't think so. Oh, I did nearly get invited into a surgery one day. I was doing the fridge at the surgical labs, and I obviously had to get gowned up, and they obviously thought I was a nurse or a doctor or something, and they opened the door and they were like, are you coming in? I was like, no, I'm here for this.
Oh my God. I feel like we should all write a book, like these diary type books that are out. Like, I've read loads of them, like Life of a Prison Officer and Life of a Doctor, and we should do Life of a Female Spark, and you can put
that's very interesting, actually. The life of a female tradie.
Say that again, sorry.
I said the life of a female tradie.
Yeah, we should all get together, do one together, all the best bits, all our best stories, because I've not got enough interesting stories.
Yeah. That would be very interesting to do, actually.
Yeah. I'm going to look into that. Nobody steal my idea before I do it. Right. Have you got any advice or anything for, young girls that might be thinking of going into a career? You should do talks and stuff at schools, like careers day and colleges.
Yeah, like, they don't really do things like that here. It's very strange. Like, you have like your guidance counselor in your last year of school, but even like apprenticeships generally, like, it's never really mentioned in school that it's an option. It's always just like college or.
You don't hear, and I think it's a real shame. We've talked about this before. I think that girls just assume that, you know, these jobs aren't an option to them, and that's why there's so few women traders. It's a real shame, because I think, you know, if they knew all their options and that it's not as scary as they might think, going into a trade, then there might be more women that come into it. So
yeah, because I think a lot of girls think that it's just going to be on a site and like with the lads, you know, and you're just like, no, it can be a lot different from that, and even how well it pays, like the higher you go up, and it's just never really it's definitely not really talked about here, because that is one of the things that my sister has mentioned to me about trying to do things like that. And obviously with COVID, we can't.
Is your sister office based with a company? She's not okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So she's not one of the four.
No, she went.
One of the
no.
four engineers.
No, she went the college route. So.
Okay. Well, thanks so much for talking to me today and explaining how you got to where you are. How long have you been? You've been doing 2007, so you've been doing it a long time.
Yeah, 2007 was when I started. It's changed like a little bit. There's all kind of like new refrigerants coming in and regulations, and we're kind of moving in towards the heat pumps in houses. And
all right,
I think from 2024 here they're banning gas boilers in houses. It's all going to have to be like heat pumps and to be carbon efficient and all these type of things. Like it's a very interesting trade. I definitely would recommend it. Like there's a lot of strands. There's obviously the air conditioning and refrigeration are like it's the same principles, but like they're two separate things. Then there's the likes of like chillers and the heat pumps in houses and CO2. There's a hell of a lot to get into. So
so there'll be a lot more work coming your way then, if that's all.
Yeah, a hell of a lot. Like even the data centers that we do. When I started, we looked after 5, I think, and they've got about 16 of them now, and they're just constantly building. Everything out here seems to be data centers now, and they're huge sites.
Yeah.
Huge.
Wow. Is most of your work like local in Dublin, or are you travelling all over?
Most of it is Dublin. We have a couple of sites down around the country, but I'd say 95% of it is Dublin based, so it's fine for me. So
I love Dublin so much.
It is great. It's Ireland is a lovely country when it's sunny. But generally,
when's that? Because every time I've been, it's not sunny. I've been a few times. I've been for a wedding, and I've been just for like mad weekends when I was younger with my friends, and we've had the best nights out in Dublin.
When you find like a good spot, it is. It's good crack, like.
Yeah. Oh, maybe I'll come back when we can do anything again. When we can leave the house.
I'll take you to this pub with the best Guinness, guaranteed.
Really? Where's that? What pub?
The Strawberry Hall.
Okay. Right, I'll hold you to that. I'm coming to Dublin.
Yeah, no problem. I'll take you there.
£5 flight.
I'll take you on a tour. There's like 4 or 5 pubs that are just, the Guinness is just to die for. Gorgeous.
Okay. It's funny because I only liked Guinness when I was in Dublin. I've had it here and it tastes different. I don't know if it doesn't travel well. I don't really know. But I thought it was disgusting. And then I had it when I was over there. Obviously, I did the tourist Guinness factory thing and all that. And it was
the storehouse.
Yeah, that's it. Yes. I started drinking it on a night out because the drink, it was like, I used to drink vodka cranberry juice, right? It was like 16 euros for one. But Guinness was like £5 a pint. I was like, I'm on the Guinness tonight. I'll pay £16 a drink. It's insane. But
yeah. Well, mixers and all like that, they're very expensive here.
Yeah. Worth it though. It is a good night out. All right, bit off topic, sorry. Thanks so much for talking to me. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks very much for having me on.
That's okay. And good luck with everything. You're going to be super busy by the sounds of it next few years. So enjoy. and I'll see you in
I'll try.
I'll see you in Dublin soon. Can't wait.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we should all go. I'm going to organise a tradie lady trip to Dublin after COVID. We'll go on a mad one for the weekend. Imagine.
Yeah. Get everyone over. Let's go.
I'm well up for it. Right, I'll let you go. Thank you.
Okay. Cheers. Bye.
Bye.
That was Women in Trades with Amy the Sparky. Never miss an episode by subscribing now. Just hit the subscribe button and turn your notifications on.